Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and this is the second part of our drive from Pano Arodes to Lara Beach area. And looking at the map, we're starting off at the little pig farm that was no longer a pig farm, and then we're basically winging it all the way down to the main coast road to Lara Bay. There's not a lot else I can say apart from just watch the film and see where we go. Okay? Yes, because most of this route isn't shown on the map anyway. And we take a very major wrong turn, as you'll see. But to start off with, we have a very nice drive, very scenic, on the, trying to work out whether it's the eastern or western side of the valley behind Avakas Gorge. And it's a bit of a steep drop there, so if you haven't got a head for heights, you may want to skip this. But in fairness, once you got over this bit here, I mean, we did drive down a quite terrible road at one point, but there were no edges either side of it, so the only thing we were in danger of damaging was the car, as opposed to ourselves. So basically, all you got to do on this part is just take it nice and slowly. You want to take it slowly anyway, because the view is absolutely spectacular. You've got the top end of Avakas Gorge on your left. You can't see much of that because the camera tends to go above the driving seat. And I'm hugging the cliff basically. I want to be as close to it as possible for obvious reasons. I don't know if this is going to be one of the main roads they're going to develop in the whole let's start up the Akamas plan, or whatever they're calling it. But if it is, I hope they're going to make it wider, because obviously they'll be putting on a better surface. But you can't just have a route like this with a drop like that on the other side, single file only. Or one way rather, one lane only. And you must think, why will people bother coming up here anyway? But just, well, you'll see that the view for yourself in it is stunning from up here. Going around the bend here, you can just see exactly how beautiful the whole area is. And on the left, you'll have Avakas Gorge. So it'd be a very popular route with tourists if it was properly drivable and safe for them. But until that happens, you don't really want to encourage it, because they have enough trouble on the road to Blue Lagoon. But we've gone past most of the sharp drops in this film now. If you do like our films, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and share them far and wide, and click on that little notifications bell, because it all helps us and boosts us in YouTube's mysterious algorithm. And if you want to help us out financially, go to our buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Life page and chuck us a few coffees. Each coffee will be greatly appreciated and helps pay for new footage. And if you want to get something in return, go to our Etsy.com shop at etsy.com/shop/Paphos Life. With Christmas fast approaching, it's a perfect place to get a gift for somebody who loves Paphos using artwork we've taken ourselves. So it could be calendars, mugs, t-shirt, you name it. Have a look on the shop, and it's all posted to you from your local country, so there's no huge postage bill to get as well. Now, it's fairly bumpy terrain now. There's a big goat farm up here on the right in a minute. And I think one of the main roads from Paphos actually is supposed to come down from that goat farm. I seem to recall on the other side of it they did the road up, and there was a nice water feature there with a well and everything. but it's a few years since I've been up that way. It's not that. It's been a while since I've been here as well, which is why I got confused in a minute, as you will see. So this part may well be part of the future strategy for the Akamas, though obviously it needs work itself. They basically do all their road maintenance up here with a bulldozer at the moment. Now here, I should have gone straight on. But for some reason I decided to turn left, I think, because at this point this road looked the better of the two. But in fact the main road, I think, went straight on there, and this is actually what they use for, they have it's not a marathon, but they have a cross-country race in the Akamas every year, and I think the route goes down here. And while at this end of it is nice high quality, it soon deteriorates. Now, my golden rule when I'm driving and exploring is that I should never go down a road I don't feel comfortable coming back up again. And in this instance, I didn't follow that. I should have turned around already, but I was convinced for some reason that it doesn't get any worse than what this is like. I mean, this is okay. It's just like, if you've been on the E4, which is a footpath come road that goes around a lot of Cyprus, it's just no worse than that. But it does get worse. And I should have, I mean, I think it doesn't immediately get worse, which is the tricky thing. I'd already driven like quite a while before I got to the worst bit, which we'll be coming to soon. And so I didn't really fancy having to go all the way back up again. You see. But ultimately, I shouldn't have gone down there at all. The golden rule, though, is just take it slowly, no matter what you're driving. And also, if you come to a point where there's no way that you can safely drive down a route, you may be able to cope by basically building, as I did, a little ramp yourself, because there's plenty of rocks around. But then you've always got to be thinking, well, if that's there, what's going to be on the next one? And will you be able to drive up the ramp that you drove that you created? But the only saving grace is there's no cliffs around here. So it's not as if you're going to trying to steer around something and drive off a cliff. So at least you haven't got that to worry about. So the only damage you're going to be looking at is damage to the underside of your car, and it can get expensive. And if the camera didn't have built-in image stabilisation, it would be wobbling all over the place at the moment. But you need to take it nice and slowly. And don't be afraid to stop and have a look to assess routes. Also, though, it's a very good place to pick up a puncture, and it's also a very bad place to get picked up by a recovery truck. So if you do go exploring, make sure you have a spare tyre and means to change the tyre properly. Which we had the situation once, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, where we had all the tyre jack and all that, but it didn't actually fit the wheel. So it's completely useless. But the irony of all that is that after I'd done this film, I got a puncture driving down the Paphos hotel strip. So now you could argue that I probably picked something up here and it just got whacked into place later, but right. See, it's not very good to drive down here at all. Take your time. I hope the guitar playing in the background is nice at the moment. There's not a lot to say. But yeah, because I'd just driven through all that lot, when I got to the really big gap in the road up ahead, I was more determined then to actually see it through, which is why I built the little ramp that I did. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But at least there's no cliff here. But it does also stress why, if you're doing this in the summertime especially, make sure you bring plenty of water. Because if you get stuck somewhere, you want to be able to keep your fluid level high. Well, this bit at the moment, 'cause at this point I think I thought I was over the worst of it. But I was wrong. It was a shame in one level because I had planned on stopping at various points and doing little walkie-talkie film of various snippets, but because I was getting increasingly uncomfortable how I was driving, I wanted to concentrate on that. Or where I was driving, right, but this was the bit coming up here, I think. Yeah, that was huge, and you see how there's a little pile of stones appeared there, which I had to put down and drive down that. There was no way the car was going over it, and if you could hear the sound, there was actually a scrape anyway. But I got through it. And thankfully after that, it was more easygoing. As you will see, but let's take a while now just to admire the countryside. Now, I'm not so worried about the car and the road we're driving down, because you can't really call this a road, can you? This is where the athletes would do their run. Fair play to them as well. Must be hard work in this heat. And there are numerous routes that you can take. taking the high road here. Because there's always a danger that I come back, I meet the road that I should have stayed on and take the wrong turn on that and end up going back to where I was at the top, which would have been kind of soul destroying. But this is looking nice and flat. But no, I decided that was a dead end. See, by now I'm a bit cautious. I should have been a bit cautious way before. But I think the reason I was cautious in this instance was that I knew that there was another turning I could have taken just a little bit ago, so the risk-reward ratio was in my favour. And there are lots of nice clouds about as well, which is good because clouds make a picture a bit more interesting, I think, than just monotonous blue sky. So here we go, we're going right here. But at least you know that I will turn around if I do come to a road I'm not entirely happy with. I don't just continue down it willy-nilly all the time. Also bear in mind, if you're going to go out exploring in the Akamas, that we've had a lot of rain recently, so it's going to be a fair bit muddier than what you see here. And I've been stuck in the mud and it really isn't nice. Especially if you haven't got the means to dig yourself out. The road's still not being exactly generous. I did do a bit of a walkie-talkie when I got to the main coast road at the bottom, but it's because I'm in the middle of nowhere. I thought I was right near the coast, and so I went for a walk through the bushes, and it's just 5 minutes of me sort of like walking through the bushes and realise that I'm not getting that close to the seaside and then coming back. So I won't be seeing that. It's a shame because there was like a 2-minute film of me wandering around the pig farm. I might squeeze that in somewhere, but I might go back at some point and do a proper film of that area. But this is definitely going to be a joy. See, now we're in a farm field, which is a bit of a surprise. And on our left, there's a turning coming up, which would, if we'd taken the left turn, it would have taken us to the last castle restaurant. But it has been quite frustrating had we done so, because it takes you up to it, but not to the road by it. So it's basically a dead end from what we could see on the satellite map. But we stayed on this strip in the middle. See, if it'd gone left there, it'd have taken us in the direction of the last castle restaurant. So now you know where we are. And I was feeling a bit more relaxed by now, I should say, because I joined sufficient roads so that this was in a lot better state now. My buttocks were less clenched. He says, as it now gets all bumpy again. That's sod's law, isn't it? I did, after a while on this, start getting a bit uneasy because it was heading back up the hill. And I thought I might end up, as I said to you before, back where I'd taken the wrong time in the first place. Because I didn't know that the turning to the left went to the last castle. At the time, I only found that later when I when I was working out what to draw for the map route on the map that you saw at the start of this film. If you do follow that map, it's actually an accurate map of the route. I had to overlay satellite images to mark where we went. I didn't have to, but my OCD takes over and things like that. Because let's face it, I doubt you very much you're going to try and follow this route with the aid of any map that I print anyway. But yes, when this road goes down here, I'm starting to think, oh dear, we're going to go back up the hill now, aren't we? Because then I'd have had to go back to that field and take the ever turning there. And I don't particularly like driving through fields because I've been stuck in fields in the past, especially freshly ploughed fields, because well, you can sink quite quickly in them. Around we go. I mean, this section must be a farm road at least. But there aren't that many tyre tracks on it, which is always what I look for in a road when I'm driving down it, just to make so that you know that it is a road that other people have used recently. Because especially with how the rains operate, if there aren't fresh tyre tracks in the springtime on the road you're driving, there's no indication that the road's going to be there when you go around a few corners. It might have been washed away, or part of it. And that's where the bulldozer comes in. And fair play to them, when it is a road that's going to be used by farmers or access, they will get them cleared and the road will be operational again in a very short space of time. They don't hang around. You'll probably find it's the farmers themselves doing the clearing and they hire someone themselves to cut through all the red tape. See, I mean, driving on this is fine, but imagine after a few weeks of storms, so it's nice and waterlogged, and it's had a few tractors driving over it as well. And then your little car. You could easily get caught in a rut. Now here I had a choice. I think straight ahead it was the usual route, but I took the left hand. Did I go left? No, I didn't. I did go straight ahead. Oh no, yes, I had a look and then I came back the other way because there's a big puddle there. And what's happened is that the left-hand route has been spawned by people avoiding the big puddle on the right. So I followed that, and there was a little puddle here, but it wasn't as big. Now, as I said to you before, in springtime, especially after storms, that kind of situation will arise a lot when you're driving in the Akamas. If you want me to put it more bluntly still, don't go driving in the Akamas during the winter period. Right now we're coming to more arable land. And I'm happy because it's obvious that the road isn't going back up to into the hills again. Well ploughed fields as well here. Now I'm about to face a little bit of a dilemma, as you will see. But for now I'm just enjoying being on a fairly decent road with no cliffs. Yeah, just coming up, there's a farmer and he's got a big lorry on the road and his own car kind of blocking the way through, and he was just telling me to go. I was very worried about driving on here, but he seemed to think I'd be okay, and sure enough I was. If it wasn't for him being there though, I wouldn't have attempted to drive across this plough field in my car. I could just very easily see myself get stuck in, but if I had got stuck here, his truck would have been able to pull me out anyway. So now I've passed them and I'm back on the open road. I think now I'm on the track I should have been on right from the start when I made that wrong turn. And we're just coming down to the main coast road that goes from Avakas Gorge to Lara Bay. In fact, you can see Lara Bay's sister, if you like, on the right there. And I just heard in the news actually that a temporary restaurant kiosk had popped up on the beach there. That's recently been removed by the government. I did notice that they removed it after the tourist season finished though. So. Obviously it wasn't that urgent for them to clear it. But this is what essentially driving through a lot of the Akamas is like in terms of scenery. I mean, if you stick to the uplands, you'll get the views are a lot better, but you obviously no access to the beach area as well, so it's swings and roundabouts. Some more puddles. So, I have no idea what the road network is going to be like in the Akamas in 5 years' time or 10 years' time or however long it takes. I really hope they don't screw it up though. If you look at, say, Cape Greco, it is possible to have more easier access without ruining everywhere. They did it in Ayia Napa, so they should be able to do it here. But whatever they do, they need to make sure it's done properly. Because nature isn't going to let them get away with sloppiness. It'll just rip out shoddy workmanship and throw it back at you. Anyway, I could go on, but I think I've had enough in this film because we've gone on for nearly half an hour now. So this is the main coastal road anyway from Avakas Gorge to Lara Bay. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next film. Oh, if you do like this kind of film, rather than just Paphos, etc., then share it. Make people know, let me know that you like it. Cheers.